besides the production design and the cinematography and everything, which I loved, I was thrilled by the super strong and powerful female characters. And of course, especially Cora. It's a great character. So can you, Ms. Danes, talk a bit about the keys you used to shape her, and what was the little detail that made you want to play her?
I don't know. I loved her kind of passion and her zeal and her kind of profound curiosity that I think was maybe the most defining quality. You know, she had been pummeled by this awful man and had been kind of profoundly injured by him, but it doesn't overwhelm her spirit, which is just incredibly robust and resilient. And you know, she's just incredibly brave and was kind of able to fall in love, which is quite a daring undertaking. Yeah, so I don't know. I just did. She was great company, you know.
Yeah, it's a super likable character. And on the other side of the scale is Will, which I found even more complex and fascinating. It's an amazing character and probably hard to play. You're a super experienced. You're an awesome actor. Everybody knows it. But for me, it was like he must be struggling to perform this. So, what was the biggest challenge in bringing him to life, and what made you dig for the role?
Well, I loved the complexity. I was really drawn to that, and I was drawn to. He's a man with a deep sense of purpose and duty and responsibility, and I think a keen sense of himself. And at this point in his life, feels he has, for himself, answered some of the big questions, and yet, at the time of the rumors of the Essex Serpent and Cora coming into his life, there are depths that he hasn't, you know, gone down to yet. There are things about himself he hasn't understood, and he's thrown into a crisis of faith, a crisis of belief, and a crisis of identity, probably, because all the things he believed to be true are now being questioned, including his own things that he felt were unshakable at his core. And I think Sarah Perry, the novelist, and Anna Simon, our screenwriter, and Clio Barnard, our director, were really careful in making that complexity very, very human and very vulnerable. And I was really drawn to that too, like just finding the humanity of the character.
Okay, for the last question, pretty quick, I'd like to know, having you here, it's a great opportunity to ask this. What's the best thing a director can do to get the best from their actors? Like a little tip on directing actors, because I find it like super difficult.
I find that the best directors create a world that is, it's like invisible work. But once you enter the environment that they've cultivated and defined, you just sort of kind of magically, intuitively fall exactly into place. So, yeah, I know that's like, it sounds like a non-answer, but there's so much of the work happens before you even arrive.
Yes. Yeah.
But if I feel that they're present, if they're invested in my experience, if they're vulnerable with me, I can kind of do anything.